If you are looking for ways to avoid an unnecessary C-section, you've definitely come to the right place. Today, I'm gonna give you 3 expert midwife tips on ways to avoid a C-section. But before I begin, hey mamas, it's your Cajun Stark here, Midwife Kira. I believe that confidence in birth comes with being prepared. And as a midwife, I know exactly how to get you there. Consider subscribing to my channel and joining in today's conversation about avoiding an unnecessary C-section. Many times mamas will come into my office and their only plan for their birth experience is they want to avoid an unnecessary C-section. And although that's a really great plan, I have to be honest that it's just not enough. In today's birthing society, particularly in Louisiana where I practice, the C-section rate is about 40%. So I really believe that moms really need to have a better plan if they really want to avoid an unnecessary C-section and achieve that vaginal birth that they're shooting for. So let me give you those 3 tips in reducing your risk of an unnecessary C-section. Tip number 1 is to choose your care provider carefully. Now, I realize that midwifery care is not right for everyone, but traditionally midwives have lower C-section rates than OBGYNs and hospital providers. My personal C-section rate is less than 14%. Most midwives carry C-section rates low like that in comparison to, like I said a minute ago, where hospital C-section rates are close to 40% in Louisiana. So if you're choosing a hospital birth, the first thing you want to do is first choose the hospital that most aligns with your birth plans, and then choose a provider that's at that hospital. I personally recommend that you get online, start asking around to other like-minded mamas that you might know to figure out which hospital and which provider would best fit your needs. But don't forget to consider your local birth center and midwife options. Number 2, take a childbirth education class. So a lot of people think that they don't need this option, but childbirth education classes can help you be prepared to know what all of your options are. Personally, I really love Lamaze. They've restructured in the last few years, and I consider it to be an evidence-based childbirth education class. And so you're gonna come up with things that you didn't even know you had questions about, and options you weren't even aware were being offered in your local hospitals. And so choosing a childbirth education class and getting yourself educated on the childbirth process can actually help you be more empowered in your birth experience and thus meet your care provider halfway. So even with good doctors with really low C-section rates, you have to know what to ask for. One of the questions about childbirth education that I often get asked is, do I really need childbirth education when humans have given birth since forever? And the short answer to this is yes, absolutely. We are in a culture of fear surrounding birth. We are in a culture in our hospitals of birth being a medical event that sometimes happens naturally. And so when we continue to intervene with this natural process, we are actually stopping birth from working to the best of its abilities. And so it's no coincidence that hospitals have a higher C-section rate than midwives. And so the best thing to do is get yourself educated by a good childbirth education class so you know what all of your options are and so you can take advantage of those options. I mean, you're paying for them anyway, right? And finally, number 3, oh, this is so important. I want you guys to consider hiring a birth doula. As a midwife, I recommend hiring a birth doula no matter where you're planning on giving birth. Midwives work phenomenally with doulas out of the hospital. Doulas work phenomenally for hospital birthers planning a hospital birth. Whether you're planning an epidural, an unmedicated birth, it doesn't matter. Doulas are a huge benefit to your birth experience and they lower your risk of a C-section rate. If you're watching this video and you don't exactly know what a doula is, I want you guys to watch this video over here. I'm gonna explain to you what a doula is and how a doula is different than a midwife. But if you're one of those lucky moms who already know what a doula is, I strongly encourage you to look online and find a doula in your area and hire a doula for your birth.